So why would you want to keep ants? Why keep ants? Why have them as pets? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 reasons for keeping ants. Stay tuned. Ant keeping is a fantastic hobby to get into, and I recommend it for everyone. There's so many great things about this hobby, so I'm going to give you my top 5 starting right now. Number 1, it's cheap. Ant keeping is a cheap hobby. You can just start with a simple test tube and a container like this one here, just a normal Tupperware container. I picked it up for $2. And then here you can see just a test tube. You can pick up heaps of these on eBay, really cheap for a few dollars each. So number 1, it is really cheap to be an ant keeper. To start with, you can even just have the test tubes alone and keep your claustral queens inside in this sort of setup that you see here. So there we go, number 1. Let's see what's next. Number 2. Easy to feed, and this is also cheap. Simple things like sugar water and honey. You just put a drop of honey on a piece of baking paper and put it inside the outworld. If you need to give them protein, you can get things like this, a tub of mealworms from your local pet shop, or you can get crickets there as well, or you can catch your own or grow your own mealworms as well. These are nice and cheap, and you can keep them in your fridge, good to go. So number 2, they're easy to feed. Number 3, great variety. There are so many species of ants to keep in the world, and these are just a few of the different ones that I have. But depending on where you live in the world, there are different species, they live in different ways, so there are so many to choose from. In Australia alone, we've got 93 species of bull ants, or Myrmecia as well. So a huge variety to keep. Ones like bull ants, you've got army ants, weaver ants, bullet ants, all sorts of ants. There is just an endless supply of them. So there is always something in your area that you can keep. Ants are fascinating creatures to have as pets. They're so interesting to watch, to see the development right from the egg all the way through to the workers. See how they interact with each other. Different species have different abilities as well. You can get up close and personal and really see what happens inside a nest, and that is so fascinating to watch. You can spend so much time just watching these ants, and that is one of the top of my 5 reasons for keeping them. Just how interesting they are. Watching their behaviors, how they interact with each other, and the different worlds that you can make for them. So there's no end to what you can learn from these ants. Here we see a beautiful bull ant. Beautiful to keep, interesting ant. So as you can see, doesn't matter where you are in the world, the different species that you have are available to you, and they're just so brilliant to watch. Even here, looking inside the nest here, we can see a worker, or a Camponotus worker here, just tending to the brood next to the queen here. You don't get to see that in the wild, and that's why these are so interesting, just to see the actual workings inside a nest. Big thumbs up for this one. Many people don't have the room to have conventional pets, but here ants, they take up no room at all. If you live in a unit or a flat, no outdoor area, you can have one of these on your desk. You could have it even at your desk at work if you wanted. Here we can see with a small Tupperware container, little setups like this. Here we have a 3D printed nest. Again, if you've got a desk size available about the size of an A4 piece of paper, you can have an ant colony. See, no room at all. So wonderful. Number 5, they don't take up any room at all. Well, those are my top 5 reasons for keeping ants. I've got many other reasons as well, but those are the 5 I particularly chose for this video. In the comments below, I'd love to hear what are some of your top reasons for keeping ants? Why do you love the hobby of ant keeping? Well, thanks very much for watching this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And as always, happy ant keeping.